Hey everyone! Have you ever seen a Reddit mod application that made you go, "Wait, that's not even a real person"? Well, we've got some of the weirdest, most bizarre ones that made us question reality itself. From "I'm a robot" to "I'm a cat who loves the internet." These applications are a wild ride. But don't worry, we're not hiring just for the weirdness. We're looking for people who actually care about the community. So, if you're not a sock puppet, but maybe a passionate, thoughtful, and slightly weird person, we want to hear from you.
So what exactly are we talking about? Let me break it down. We're not looking for someone who wants to take over the subreddit or start making rules from day one. We're looking for someone who wants to learn, grow, and help keep the community safe and respectful. Think of it like joining a team. You start by learning the ropes, understanding our values, and showing that you have good judgment. It's not about being the loudest voice in the room, it's about being the calm, thoughtful one. You'll work through our training process, which is designed to teach you how to handle conflicts, manage content, and support our community. It's not just about banning people, it's about making sure everyone feels heard and respected. Once you've shown consistency and judgment, you'll be given more responsibilities. It's a gradual process, and we're looking for someone who's committed to the long haul, not just a quick win. So if you're someone who wants to learn, grow, and make a positive impact, this could be the role for you. We're looking for a team player who's passionate about keeping the community safe and inclusive. You might not realize it, but every comment you read in r/AmIOverreacting shapes the conversation. If you've ever felt like the rules are a little weird, you're not alone. That's why this moderation team matters. It's keeping the vibe right. Imagine the place you love, where people are honest, thoughtful, and not just arguing for the sake of it. That's what this team is trying to protect. And you're part of that community. You might not think your voice matters, but it does. When you see something that feels off, you're part of the reason the rules are there. And that's why this team needs people who care. Even if you don't want to be a moderator, you should care about who is. Because the people in charge of the rules shape the culture of the place you love. And that's something worth paying attention to. So next time you see a comment that feels wrong, or a rule that seems confusing, remember, someone is working behind the scenes to keep it all in check. And that's why you should secretly care about this. So back in 2014, r/AmIOverreacting was just a little corner of the internet where people posted their dumbest fears and got a laugh. It was chill, it was weird, and it was oddly comforting. But then something happened. A bunch of people started posting questions about whether their reactions were over the top, and the community just kept growing. It was like a snowball rolling down a hill. By 2016, the place was so popular that it got its own subreddit, and the mods realized they needed help. They started looking for people who could keep things fun, but also keep things in check. That's when the first moderator applications came in. People wanted to help, but they had to prove they could handle the chaos without turning it into a war zone. The training process was tough, but the mods were patient. They wanted to make sure newbies knew the rules, understood the vibe, and could keep the community safe without being too strict. And that's how it all started. A humble little subreddit, a few brave mods, and a whole bunch of people who wanted to share their over-the-top reactions without fear of being judged. So imagine you're playing a game and you get to be the referee. You help keep things fair, you watch the rules, and you make sure everyone plays nicely. That's basically what a moderator does here. You don't get to call the shots right away. You learn the rules first, then you help enforce them. It's like learning to referee before you can call a game. This isn't about being the boss. It's about being the friend who helps keep things fun and fair for everyone. You're part of the team, not the leader. So if you're someone who likes to help out, who's good at listening, and who wants to make sure everyone has a great time, this could be your moment. And remember, we're not looking for a superhero. We're looking for someone who's ready to learn, grow, and make this place even better. So first things first, let's talk about how this whole process even starts. You've got to be someone who's genuinely into the community and wants to help make it better. That's not just a nice to have, it's the starting line. You'll need to fill out the application form. It's not a long form, but it's important. We want to know who you are, what you bring to the table, and why you're excited about joining the team. Once you've submitted your application, it goes into a queue. We'll review it, and if we think you're a good fit, we'll reach out. It's not a guarantee, but it's the first step in the journey. If we're interested, we'll ask you to join a training process. Think of it like a mentorship, no pressure, just learning how we moderate and how we think about community guidelines. And if you make it through that, well, you're on the team. But remember, this isn't a fast track to power. It's about growth, learning, and being part of something bigger. Once the application is in, we dive into the nitty-gritty, like checking your history, your past moderation, and how you handle tricky situations. It's all about seeing if you've got the chops and the judgment we need. Next up, you'll go through our training process. Think of it like a crash course in our rules, our vibe, and how we keep the community running smooth. No shortcuts here, just learning the ropes. Once you prove you've got the hang of it, we'll let you take the reins. You'll start moderating on your own, but always with a team behind you. It's not about power, it's about keeping things chill. And if you do well, you might just get promoted. We're always looking for people who bring energy, empathy, and a bit of flair to the table. It's a team effort, and we're here to help you grow. So after the training and proving you've got the chops, here comes the fun part, our clever twist. We want to see how you handle real-life moderation with a bit of creativity and calm. We don't just want someone who can follow rules. We want someone who can think on their feet, adapt, and keep the vibe of AmIOverreacting alive. You'll be given scenarios, real ones, not just hypotheticals, and we'll see how you respond. It's not about being perfect, it's about being thoughtful and adaptable. And if you're still with us, we'll take it from there. This is where your journey as a mod really starts, helping others see the world through the lens of r/AmIOverreacting. So here's the thing, the real reason this sub exists isn't just to be chill or have funny questions. It's about connecting people who feel misunderstood, who feel like their thoughts are just noise, and helping them find a voice. The science here is simple. When you're in a crowd, your brain starts to process things differently. You're less sure of yourself, more sensitive to criticism, and more likely to feel like your thoughts are out of place. That's the science of overreaction. We're not just reacting to posts, we're reacting to the way people feel. And that's why we're here. That's why we're trying to build a space where people can feel seen, even when they are feeling alone. The real science here is human connection. It's about how we process emotion, how we interpret the world around us, and how we can support each other in that messy, beautiful process. So when you're here, you're not just reading a post. You're part of a bigger conversation, one that's rooted in science, empathy, and the simple truth that sometimes we all just need to feel understood. So imagine this. You're a brand new lifeguard, and the beach is a chaos of jellyfish, sunscreen, and confused toddlers. You're not here to make rules or throw people out, just to keep things safe and fun. Your job is to spot the jellyfish, calm the toddlers, and make sure everyone's having a good time without getting too stressed about it. It's not about being the boss, it's about being the calm in the storm. And if someone starts acting like a giant jellyfish, hurting others, causing chaos, or just being a little too much, your job is to gently steer them back to the shore. Not kick them out, just guide them. It's not about being the loudest voice in the room. It's about knowing when to speak up, when to step back, and when to just enjoy the view. So if you're thinking, I could totally handle this, you're probably already the kind of person who would make a great mod. But if you're thinking, I'm not sure if I'm up for it, that's totally okay too. We're here to help. So here's the part that sounds made up but isn't, like someone wrote it for a sci-fi movie, but it's real. We're not just throwing open the door to anyone who wants to be a mod. Okay, hear me out. The Apple AirPods 2nd generation. Scan that QR code or grab it from the link in the description and hit subscribe for more pics like this. We're looking for people who actually care about the community, not just the cool title. It's not about ego or being the loudest voice in the room. We want people who will show up every day, not just when it's convenient. Moderating is a job, and we're looking for people who take that seriously. It's not about being perfect, but about being willing to learn, adapt, and grow. We're a team, and we're looking for people who want to be part of something bigger. Myth number 1 is that being a moderator means you get to call the shots right away. Nope, not even close. You start by learning the ropes, understanding the rules, and getting your hands dirty with the training process. You don't just walk in and start making calls. You prove yourself by showing consistent judgment, staying calm under pressure, and being ready to roll up your sleeves. So if you're thinking, I've got the skills to lead, that's great. But first, you've got to show you've got the patience and discipline to learn and grow with the team. That's not a job, that's a journey. And we're looking for people who are ready to walk that path with us. Myth number 2 also busted. People think moderation is all about being a big, bad boss. But really, it's about being a friendly guide, not a strict ruler. Moderators are here to help the community grow, not to shut people down. We're more like coaches, not cops. Moderation is a team sport. We all learn from each other, and no one has all the answers. So if you're thinking about applying, don't worry about being perfect. Just be ready to grow and contribute. Moderation is about building something together, and we're looking for people who want to be part of that journey. Have you ever noticed how some people just no asterisk when something's not right? Like that friend who can spot a lie in a second, or that coworker who always knows when you're about to mess up. That's the kind of judgment we're looking for in a moderator. It's not just about being a people pleaser. It's about knowing when to step in and when to back off. Like that time you saw someone trying to sneak in a joke that didn't land, but you didn't say anything until you realized it was heading toward a real issue. Sometimes it's not even about rules. It's about knowing when a comment is trying to push people's buttons or when a post is getting toxic. Like that time you saw a comment that didn't seem harmful at first, but it started turning the conversation into a mess. Being a moderator isn't about being a rule enforcer. It's about being a calm, steady presence in a chaotic room. Like that time, you saw a heated argument in a meeting and managed to steer it back to a productive direction without anyone even noticing. And let's be real, sometimes it's about knowing when to let things be. Like that time you saw a post that didn't break any rules, but you still felt like it was heading towards something bigger. Sometimes, the best way to help is to step back and let the community handle it. So imagine this, a new mod comes in, all excited, ready to jump in and fix everything. But then they see the rules, the policies, the history, and they realize, oh, this isn't just about being cool. It's about being consistent, fair, and knowing when to step back. They start off by shadowing the existing mods, learning the nuances of each rule. It's not just about what's written. It's about the intent, the community, and the balance between freedom and order. Then comes the test, a post that's borderline, a comment that's just a little off. The new mod hesitates, thinks, and decides to flag it, not because they're harsh, but because they're careful. And that's when the real work starts. Eventually, they're given a real call to action, moderate a whole thread, handle a dispute, or step in during a flare-up. And if they do it right, they're not just a mod, they're part of the team. But here's the kicker. The hardest part isn't the rules or the posts. It's the people. You have to be ready to listen, explain, and sometimes just be patient with people who don't get it. That's what it really means to be a mod in r/AmIOverreacting. It's not about being right. It's about being thoughtful, consistent, and willing to grow with the community. We've had mods who have banned thousands of posts, but they never once lost their cool. They just kept pushing, like they were on a never-ending roller coaster of moderation, and they loved every second of it. One mod once went through 120+ posts in a single day, all without a single mistake. They were like a pro chef, cooking up moderation with precision and flavor. There's even a mod who once handled a mass ban of 500+ posts in under 10 minutes. They didn't blink, just kept going, like they were on a mission from Mars. These mods aren't just doing their job. They're pushing the limits, breaking records, and redefining what it means to moderate with heart, grit, and a little bit of madness. So what happens when it all goes horribly wrong? Well, let's be real, sometimes even the best laid plans can fall apart. It's like when you're trying to build a sandcastle and the tide comes in faster than you expected. A moderator might start off strong, but then they get tempted by the power. Maybe they start banning people they don't like, or letting in people who shouldn't be there. It's like when you're in a game and you start cheating. Then things start to spiral. The community gets confused, people get upset, and the subreddit starts to lose its vibe. It's like when your favorite playlist suddenly has a bunch of weird songs in the middle. Eventually the mods step in. They take a deep breath, assess the situation, and start cleaning up the mess. It's like when you're at a party and someone spills a drink, you grab a towel and make it right. And if the situation is really bad, they might even have to take a break. But that's not the end of the story. It's just a reminder that moderation is a tough job and it's not for the faint of heart. You think you're getting a cool badge and a fancy title. Think again. You're not getting a seat at the cool kids table. You're getting a seat at the cool kids table with a sign that says, "Please don't make me cry." You're not the captain of the ship. You're the guy in the back, checking the radar and telling everyone else where the land is. No applause, no fanfare, just a quiet "Hey, that thing over there is not allowed." You're not getting a promotion. You're getting a probation. You have to prove you can be the adult in the room, even when the room is full of teenagers and drama. You're not getting a party, you're getting a pep talk. Every time you take action, you're reminded that you're not a hero, you're a gatekeeper, and the world is watching. You're not getting a trophy, you're getting a thank you note. And sometimes that thank you note is written in the middle of a complaint thread. So here's the thing, folks, how did we even get here? Like, how did we figure out that someone needs to moderate this place? It's like someone said, hey, this subreddit is getting too much traffic, and we need to keep it friendly. Maybe it started with one person who was just annoyed by all the drama and wanted to make sure people could actually have a decent conversation. Like, who doesn't want to feel heard, or at least not yelled at? Eventually, the idea stuck. It wasn't just one person, it was a bunch of people who felt the same way. They started talking, then they started organizing, and before you knew it, we had a team of moderators who cared about keeping the vibe positive. So in short, humans figured this out by being human. We got tired of the chaos, we wanted to make things better, and we decided to take it seriously. And that's how we got here. So imagine this. Someone posts a meme about a banana wearing a top hat and monocle, and the next thing you know, it's trending on the front page. Then out of nowhere, a user comments, "This banana is a dictator," and I've seen the evidence. We get reports that the banana is actually a secret agent working for the government, and the whole thing is a cover-up. Meanwhile, a moderator is trying to figure out if this is a deepfake, a conspiracy theory, or just one banana having too much fun. In the end, it turns out the banana was just trying to be a proper aristocrat, and everything was a misunderstanding. So here's a wild thought. What if we intentionally abused this power? Like, what if we used the mod's role just to troll or push buttons? It's a fun hypothetical, but it's also a way to test the limits of trust and responsibility. Like, how do we handle when the rules get bent? But here's the catch. Mods are supposed to be the calm in the chaos. They're not there to make waves, but to keep things running smoothly. So if we're thinking about abuse, it's not about breaking rules. It's about proving that the system is strong enough to handle anything. You're going to want to see this. The Kindle Paperwhite e-reader, link and QR code are right on screen and down in the description. Subscribe so you don't miss the next one. It's a cool way to think about Comment this emoji if you made it to the end.